Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome in to another episode of Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is episode 9. It's called Gags. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Abaticola. You can follow the show on Twitter at AFDE Show. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/AFDE Show. And email your thoughts and comments for the program at afdeshow@gmail.com. We are, of course, presented to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. You can follow them on Twitter as well at Mickey Finn's. Great beer, fantastic food, great service, and always live entertainment on the weekends. I was there yesterday for lunch with the dudes, as always. Saw Brian for a little bit, and he said, hey, make sure you stop by tomorrow and grab that growler of Pineapple Express on your way out to Jason's. And I said, yeah, I certainly will. I won't forget today.
Yeah.
And about halfway here, I realized I had forgotten once again to stop in and get the growler of Pineapple Express.
Is the beer with your laptop?
Yeah, I decided not to bring the laptop.
Oh,
I don't need it. I put everything on my phone.
Okay.
I have the handheld laptop right in my pocket right now. So if you're new to the program, we thank you for checking out episode 9. The first thing you should do is go back and listen to episodes 1 through 8 after you finish Gags. Last week it was called Glossy Knobs. This is Gags. You wonder why? We'll never tell you. But this is episode 9, Gags, Abaticola, and Ferrari discuss everything. Right now, for us, it's Sunday afternoon. For you, it could be Monday morning. Could be later on in your week, wherever you might be. But for us, Sunday afternoon, and the Bears just got their first victory of this season. John Fox's first win as a Bears head coach in the month of September. And yes, this is his third season with the team, and he just got his first win in September as the Bears beat the Steelers in overtime 23-17. And just a few comments. I wanted to turn off going into the half after Marcus Cooper picked up the blocked punt or blocked field goal attempt or whatever it was and ran it in. Should have had a touchdown, decided to slow it down and walk in from the
15.
Well, and he literally came to a stop at about the 1.5 yard line when he was caught from behind. The ball was knocked loose and then knocked out of the back of the end zone by the punter. That's what it was. And so the Bears get the ball back. Instead of a touchdown and a big lead going into halftime, they get the ball back at the half-yard line. There is a false start call, which then pushes them back because of the penalty, and they end up taking the field goal, so they don't even get any points out of it being on the half-yard line. Just absolutely pathetic, idiotic, stupid play by Marcus Cooper.
He's a veteran, too. I mean, you'd expect those boneheaded mistakes from kids, but the guy's been in the league for a long time, and that's just ridiculous. What was the guy Beebe? Remember Don Beebe when he played for the Pack, and some schmuck was like high stepping into the end zone, and Beebe came like 80 yards and knocked the ball out.
Yeah, wasn't it the Leon Lett, the Cowboys?
Yes,
that's who it was.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
yeah, and so he caught him from behind, and I think he even had the ball out or was putting the ball out, but Cooper had nobody in front of him, and it was an easy touchdown. I don't know why you don't sprint in the end zone, why you have to, do a clown show like that. Just completely ridiculous. The running game today for the Bears was pretty incredible as Howard and Tariq Cohen go for over 220 yards rushing. And in the overtime, they actually scored 2 touchdowns. Tariq Cohen with a 73-yard touchdown run where the officials said he was out of bounds at the 37, so they stopped that. And I'm in the car listening on the radio, and Joniak loses his mind with the call on the 73-yard run. And then all of a sudden you hear the official in the background, runner stepped out of bounds at the 37, it'll be first down. And Joniak was like, so it's not a touchdown? And then on the Jordan Howard touchdown run, the end of the game really, he's at the 18 or 19-yard line, and he gets in, and all you hear is Joniak at the 5, and he's in. Is he in? Is it a touchdown? I'm like,
you're there, man.
But that wasn't even the frustrating parts about listening on the radio, because I got to listen to a lot of it on the radio today. It sounded like Thayer and Joniak had never done a game together before. With as much as Thayer was like trying to get the sponsored reads in, and he would jump all over Joniak in the middle of a sentence, and then Joniak would stop talking and be like, all right, no, go ahead, I'm sorry. And Thayer was like, no, I'm sorry. And then no one would talk. It sounded so bizarre. I don't remember anything like that listening to those two guys do games.
They've been doing games for 20 years.
It just sounded particularly bad today. I didn't quite get it.
It reminded me today of when I was living in Wisconsin, and obviously it was like, unless I went out, I could not get the games. And so I'd listen to the radio calls all the time, and I thought it was so funny when they would do those commercials like, looks like he had a really horrific knee injury. And speaking of knee injuries, if you want to go to Northwestern, oh my God, this injury is brought to you by.
I mean, having spent 16 years in radio, I completely get it. And anything that can get sponsored gets sponsored. You sell it, and someone wants to pay money for it, you're going to take their money, and you'll do it. But it was so bad today. It was just
forced.
really bad. And just I don't remember Thayer jumping all over Joniak and trying to do reads, and then Joniak just stops talking, and then no one's talking. It was just really, really bad. And I caught some my old buddies there, Dan Pompey and Hub and Pat Manley, doing the pregame on the score today. And a lot of the fans wanting Mitch Trubinsky to be in the game and to start, and it's not a good time. You have all those injuries. You really don't have any wide receivers to speak of. You had your first wide receiver completion today with 6 minutes to go in the game, and they probably had how many yards for wide receivers today? Less than 20, less than 10, if any.
And they have to be leading the league in drops. If not, they're towards the top.
So you want the rookie to play. Listen, right. I get wanting the rookie, and I get falling in love with him in the preseason, because you're dumb enough to think that actually means something in the preseason, right? Yeah. But if he was going to be the guy to start games this year, for me, and you wouldn't have Glenn in there. This is his season, like it or not, and Trubinsky is going to be there to watch and to experience as much as he can without getting killed behind a hurt offensive line with no wide receivers. If you draft a rookie and a rookie's going to start, and we've seen guys do it recently and they do it successfully, then he's the guy from the day he's drafted all the way through every experience in preseason, in training camp. He's taking every snap. That's not the case. They signed Mike Glennon before they drafted Trubinsky, and this is the whole idea. It's his one season.
Right.
That's it. And if you have two good quarterbacks, fine. Then great. That's only beneficial for your organization.
That's a good problem to have that we have never had.
Never had. We barely have had one good quarterback. So just, stop calling for this rookie to start. You got Glennon here for a reason. This season, you're not going to do anything. And now you have offensive linemen hurt. You have no wide receivers. You have a great running game, and it's just unfortunate you don't have any passing game or, really wide receivers to go with that. It always seems like it's always imbalanced. The Bears can never get a good offensive balance.
No. Well, and think about how many quarterbacks that we've seen in, as long as we've been watching football, who get drafted high to a bad team, and they go out, start as a rookie, and just get murdered. And we're on, in some cases, our third at the position, at some positions on the offensive line.
Right.
Exactly. They're completely one-dimensional. So why would defense not just stack the box when you have no threat other than tight ends, which I'm a little shocked that they're not using more because they have no wide receivers.
Right.
So I don't know. You're right. It's one or the other. If people are putting this on Glennon, then they A, don't know football, and B, are watching different games than everybody else.
His game last week was awful.
Right,
that was a terrible. That was a terrible game for the team. Right. If you want to say it's all on Mike Glennon last week and that embarrassing loss,
missed tackles,
right,
dropped interceptions. Like what is this? Like the 5th, 6th year in a row that we can't force turnovers.
Right. So it's 3 games in. Mike Glennon had a chance to win the game against Atlanta in week 1 and failed. They beat Pittsburgh today, and I know they didn't do it on his arm, but you have no wide receivers to speak of.
Right.
So out of 3 games so far, he had an opportunity to win in the final play and didn't execute it, and that happens. It's the NFL, and you're playing really good people. You got embarrassingly, you took a beating in week 2, and it was an embarrassing loss for the entire team, not just on Mike Glennon, although he had an awful first half. And then you come out and you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the third game of the season here in September at home when it's 105 degrees. So,
All right.
so the Bears get their first victory of the season, and I know people are calling for the rookie to play quarterback. Not the plan, not the smart thing to do. You keep throwing Mike Glennon out there, particularly behind an injured offensive line and a team that has no wide receivers. Take advantage of Howard and Cohen and use the run game and try to produce some passing plays out of the run game. And you do that with Mike Glennon. This is his season, and it's the season for the rookie to learn the NFL, and that's fine. So stop being stupid and looking at preseason play and saying the rookie should be out there or the rookie can do this. He may very well could do it, but that wasn't the plan. Just stick with the plan. You're not winning the Super Bowl this year, not with this particular team. And for the most part, it was a pretty ugly game to watch. It was, I would describe it as poop, which really easily transitions into our very first story of the day. And I saw this a few days ago, and I didn't have a chance to even send it to you or mention it to you because you sent it to me after I'd already seen it and printed out the story, because this is the greatest story we've had so far in now 9 episodes of the AFDE show. I'm going to read the entire thing. Normally, we don't read the entire articles or stories of great stories we find, but this is really worthy of the entire article being read. The headline is "Woman Jogger Dubbed the Mad Pooper Wanted by Police." I saw that headline and I'm like, what? This is going to be amazing.
There's no way this story can't be good.
So here's the story. She's got the runs. A Colorado family is trying to get a jogger they've dubbed the Mad Pooper from relieving herself in their neighborhood and outside of their house. Kathy Buddy told KKTV her kids caught the woman jogging mid-squat, pants down, and unashamed. They're like, there's a lady taking a poop. So I come outside and I'm like, are you serious? Buddy said, are you really taking a poop right here in front of my kids? The woman jogger, she's like, yeah, sorry.
My bad.
Just the right, like it's something she couldn't control. Yeah, sorry. It happens, where you just squat in someone's yard and poop. The family said the toilet-fearing runner defecates near their home about once a week and leaves behind the waste with paper towels. I put a sign on the wall that's like, please, I'm begging you, please stop. She ran by it like 15 times yesterday, and she still pooped. Public restrooms are close to the family's house, which is why the buddies can't figure out what is making the woman continuously do her business by their house. The Colorado Springs Police Department is now involved, and it's a case that has Sergeant Jonathan Scarchetti at a loss for words. It's abnormal. It's not something I've seen in my career, Scarchetti told KKTV. For someone to repeatedly do such a thing, it's uncharted territory for me. Police told the buddies to take a photo of the woman so they could identify her. If caught, it's possible she could face indecent exposure and public defecation. The
public defecation.
The family is hoping now that the photos of the jogger being public will flush out her identity. Colorado Springs police are asking anyone with information on the identity of the Mad Pooper to contact them. That's a phone call I want to hear. Colorado Springs Police Department. Yeah, I have information about the Mad Pooper.
Mad Pooper's in my lawn.
I've recognized the Mad Pooper in the photos. I know her. Her name is Julie Swanson. She lives down the street from me. She needs to stop pooping in those people's lawn. I just love the fact that she's like mid-squat. She's pooping. She's, just so unashamed. And just so brazen about it. Are you serious? And she's like, yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Like she accidentally spit gum onto the woman's lawn, and the woman happened to be standing right there and saw her. Like, did you really spit gum on my lawn?
I'm sorry. Yeah, like drop a candy wrapper or something.
Right.
Not like just deuce
right
in front of your
dropping a load in someone's lawn, and you're a human. Oh, it's like I always hated walking a dog and having a dog take a crap in someone's lawn.
I think dogs have more self-respect.
Yeah, at least they try to cover it up.
Oh my God! If she started like
kicking backwards with her Nikes on,
kicking the grass.
Hey, at least I try to cover it up with grass.
Oh man,
that's just completely unbelievable. All right, so we go from pooping into eating and things that might actually make you poop. Listen, I'm going to be completely honest here. Full disclosure, one of my weak points in life as far as fast food's concerned is Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. And if I didn't care what I put in my body or what my body looked like or how I felt about myself, I would, and I'm not lying, I would eat Taco Bell 4 to 5 times a week. I seriously would.
I mean, we don't know what's in it, but it's whatever it is, it's good.
It's fine. Yeah, I love it. But they've done something that I think should never, ever, ever be done. And they're calling it the Naked Egg Taco. And it's crispy bacon, fluffy potatoes, cheese, and it's all put together. Sounds like a great combination so far. But the shell is made of a deep fried egg. It's an egg shell. So it's a deep fried egg that serves as the taco shell to hold in the bacon, the potatoes, and the cheese. And they're calling it the Naked Egg Taco.
Oh, and I don't see them like cracking an egg on a grill. This has to be pre-made egg
Something or other.
shell. Blah, blah.
See, and that's the thing too. Like when you see the commercial, it looks like, wow, they really cracked an egg, and there's the yolk, and it looks perfect, and it's shaped perfectly like one of their hard shell, taco shells.
So gross, dude.
But and a lot of times you've seen fast food commercials where the food is not properly represented by what you actually get coming out of the drive-through window. Like if you see I love Big Macs, but I haven't had one in forever. But I could kill 2 Big Macs and love it. But the Big Macs you see on TV are not the Big Macs you get through the drive-through window.
No, or like the cheeseburger where you open it up and the bun's half off and there's just ketchup, no pickle. Nothing.
It's just nothing ever looks like it does. And that's not just McDonald's, not just Taco Bell. It's any fast food restaurant.
Place.
You look at any one of the pizza commercials for any of the fast food chain pizza places, their pizzas never, ever, ever look anything like the stuff you get
beautiful
at home.
And piping hot, and you get it, and it's like all run off to the side with that little, I don't know, it looks like a little picnic table that they put in the middle of the pizza or whatever.
The guy who invented that, who's making millions and millions of dollars every year
table.
now.
Yeah, it's like the guy who, what's his name? Flugelbinder, the guy who did the shoelace plastic.
The plastic tip. But, and no fast food looks like what you see on TV. So this is not just a criticism of McDonald's or Taco Bell. But you see this egg thing and this egg shell, and you're like, wow, they actually did it. But there's no way that that's going to be executed properly at the local Taco Bell level. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So
you just sent me the name, and I don't even know what it was.
Right.
It's
so then
gross.
That got me onto a story as I started Googling then after I saw this naked egg taco. This is from the Wall Street Journal. It's called McFailures. The 10 worst fast food flops of all time. And I'm like, well, this could be an interesting article for the show. So let's go through them rather quickly. Number 10, the enormous omelet sandwich from Burger King.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either, but that's what the picture is. And it looks like maybe a 6 or 7 inch bun, sesame seed bun, with it looks like a couple patties, hamburger patties, bacon, and a giant like 6 or 7 inch omelet. I don't remember that at all. It looks
like remember when they used to make the chicken sandwiches like that, the longer ones?
Yes.
They had like the
I think they still do.
I don't know that I've seen them anymore, but it looks like they just used that bun and put an omelet on it.
And then I know because now they have like the super long hamburgers. At least the last time I went to the Burger King in the building when I was at the station,
those, yeah.
They have like extra long burgers.
I don't know why you need that, but okay.
The Arch Deluxe Burger from McDonald's. You remember that?
I never had it. I do remember it.
Burger was created in '96 as McDonald's attempted to appeal to a variety of adult customers by introducing a new line of menu items. However, despite McDonald's $100 million marketing campaign, which included ads showing children refusing to eat the burger, the Arch Deluxe failed. McDonald's had expected the Arch Deluxe Burger to bring in $1 billion in sales during its first year.
That's hilarious.
How about this one? I don't remember this either. The Bell Beefer from Taco Bell.
I don't either, but I think that's a future episode name.
Bell Beefer.
Bell Beefer.
That's a picture of the sandwich. So it basically
when the hell they made sandwiches. That looks. What is the Mexican food sandwich? You know what I'm talking about? Damn. I've had one before. We'll figure it out. But that looks ridiculous, and I've never heard of it.
Well, this sandwich was basically a taco on a bun or a sloppy Joe. The taco franchise, famous for its "Think Outside the Bun" campaign, discontinued the Bell Beefer in the '80s, but not before it developed
it for the name.
A loyal
Bell
group of
Beefer.
fans. I see. I must have not been eating Taco Bell in the '80s because I don't remember ever seeing this.
I don't think I was. I don't know if. I definitely hadn't. I don't think I even heard of Taco Bell in the '80s.
There's even a Facebook page with over 1,000 likes asking Taco Bell to bring back the Bell Beefer. Now we all remember this one, the McDLT, a torta sandwich. Sure, the McDLT.
Yeah, that was stupid.
It wasn't so much what was inside the McDLT that had the customers angry with McDonald's, but rather the packaging the burger came in. Introduced in 1984, the McDLT was just a burger with lettuce and tomato. The McDLT came in a double-sided styrofoam box with a beef patty on one side and the lettuce and tomato on the other. The idea was to have the customer build their own burger. And the fixins were kept separate so the burger stayed hot and the vegetables stayed cold. Wow.
I told Sebastian Maniscalco, right?
Yeah.
I think I told you.
Yeah, the comedian. Yeah, he's
but
great.
he does the bit where he's like, when did I start working at the grocery store? with the self-checkout. Right. You pay for the burger and you have to build your own.
However, the burger was discontinued in 1990 as Mickey D's was facing a public relations crisis over the environmental impact of its signature styrofoam.
The styrofoam,
packaging.
yeah.
Yep. Do you remember this from Pizza Hut? This was in 85, so it was a great year for the Bears. The Priazzo.
No.
Introduced in 85, the Priazzo was a deep dish pizza made with 2 crusts and layers of cheese, sauce, and a smattering of pork toppings. The company spent $15 million on the ad campaign for the Priazzo, which fearlessly predicted the Chicago-style pie would bring in $250 million in sales during the first year. As it turns out, the pizza took too long to make and failed as customers weren't willing to wait around for what was supposed to be fast food. The pizza didn't meet expectations, was pulled a few years after it was put on the market. Now, this one, I had to make sure that I wasn't reading something fake here that was just getting an idiot like me to read this publicly somehow. I had never heard of this, number 5, from McDonald's, called the McAfrica. Have you McAfrica?
No. Is it sold here or was it sold here?
It was not. So it was just some beef sandwich between 2 slices of pita with some cheese and vegetables, but this sandwich caused a PR nightmare and international uproar. Had it not been for the timing and the poor name choice, the McAfrica would have been a welcome addition to McDonald's menu. Introduced in 2002 in Norway, the McAfrica was said to be based on an authentic African recipe and meant to be enjoyed as a limited edition during the Olympic Games.
The
burger's name
the McAfrica was introduced in Norway.
Because it had an authentic African recipe.
Oh my god!
The burger's name drew immediate criticism, and the timing of its release was said to be too insensitive, as it came out one of the richest countries in the world during a period when South Africa was struggling with famine.
I just see like a marketing campaign with a burger on pita that says "too soon." Like, what the?
But how in God's name does anybody go, well, let's call it the McAfrica? It's like a great idea. This isn't going to offend black people everywhere.
I can't believe that's a thing.
Come on, come get your McAfrica. I'm surprised they didn't pair it with some kind of flavored soda to really bring it home.
No, yeah, just to be extra ignorant. Be
like,
hey, can you supersize that? Like,
right.
I need an extra large McAfrica.
Yeah, for all you blacks out there, get the McAfrica with some grape drink. I mean, you could really. I mean, seriously, McDonald's, are you serious? I don't give a crap that it's Norway, but how would you ever think anything called the McAfrica would be something worth selling?
Brutal.
I mean, oh my God, I felt bad even reading it. I'm like, the McAfrica. I'm like, dude, I was like putting the phone real close to my face. I'm like, I can't be reading it. I took a screenshot of McAfrica so I could blow it up and see
sure
that I was reading McAfrica. Like, I mean, could you imagine a company today and a guy's like, I got a great idea for a sandwich, boss. Oh, what do you got, Johnson? It's called the McAfrica. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
It's called the what?
Yeah, you're going to need to show yourself out. Right. Here's a box to pack your desk.
You're done.
You insensitive prick.
All right, McDonald's, let's keep going here. Number 4, the McSpaghetti.
What? No.
McDonald's is likely not the first restaurant to come to mind when you're in the mood for delicious Italian food. Either is Olive Garden.
Yeah, they're having the most Italian thing on their menu is ketchup.
But that didn't stop the fast food restaurant's attempt to expand its menu by adding spaghetti to its list of offerings. The McSpaghetti proved to be unpopular in the U.S. Go figure.
Wait, you think it's where was it popular?
In Italy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, scusi, McSpaghetti.
Yeah, I'm sure Italians really love the mixed spaghetti.
Mixed spaghetti with a little vino. Scusi.
Oh my God.
All right, number 3, the Frescata. Sandwiches from Wendy's. Wendy's released the sandwiches in 2006
I
as
do
a way
remember
to
those.
take on Subway, a rival fast food chain. Thanks for the description, by the way, Wall Street Journal, of what Subway is.
Yeah.
Subway, comma, a rival fast food chain. I had no idea what
With
I thought they were trying to compete with trains.
The strange pedophile is their
Right.
As their that's another story.
Right, a big fat pedophile who got skinny. However, the deli-style sandwich made-to-order sandwiches took much too long than the burgers that the restaurant provided, so they got rid of those in 2007.
I do remember those.
Now, do you remember the Frings from Jack in the Box? Frings, which you could guess what that would be.
Yeah, I've never been to a Jack in the Box.
1979, so you would have been 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
Jack in the Box, so no reason why a consumer should have to decide between a side order of fries and onion rings with their meal. So Frings was a combination basket of their two favorite fast food dishes. Although it sounds like an idea that should have gained a following equal to or greater than the Bell Beefer, Frings eventually fizzled out, and they were discontinued a few years after hitting the market. So are you jotting down Bell Beefer for a show title, please?
Keep having to step away from the microphone thinking about the McAfee.
And I want you to spit your wine, too, because the McAfrica. Oh, boy. And the number one failed fast food idea, the Satis Fries from Burger King. Satisfries in August of 2013, when this came out, Burger King said most of its fast food restaurants in North America will stop selling the low-fat French fries known as Satis Fries due to weak sales. The fries were introduced in September of 2013 as a way for the company to develop a healthy image and attract more nutritious, conscious diners. Because, when I'm thinking about eating healthy, I want to go to a fast food restaurant and get some fries. Wow!
Oh, man.
So thank you so
Are
much.
you satisfied?
Thank you so much for the naked egg taco, because it got me into this article, which then introduced us and our listeners here on Gags episode 9 to the McAfrica.
Right. No, I was gonna say that.
And
No,
McSpaghetti.
I was gonna say it's so deeply upsetting we can't even hashtag it because people be like, "What the? Well, AFD show are racists." Like, my God, it's so stupid.
McAfrica. All right, so going there from things we would never want to eat at fast food restaurants, and Taco Bell was generally easily 9 times out of 10 my go-to spot for late night food after all night drinking. It was just because
Denny's.
They're always open.
Taco Bell or Denny's.
I had a bad experience in Denny's in Bourbonnais when they wouldn't serve me. I think they wouldn't serve me because I was too white. Bernstein and I went there one night after drinking, and we ordered food. I ordered a steak, breakfast, steak and eggs, and
Yes.
and he ordered whatever he ordered.
Skirt steak
his
and eggs,
9
probably.
9 plates of food, and the food comes, and he gets his, and then I don't have mine, and I was like, my steak coming out, and she was like, oh yeah, your steak's coming. She walks away, and I turn to Bernstein and I go, I guarantee you, she forgot to put it in, because her response was, oh yeah, your steak. She totally forgot about it for some reason. I mean, you take an order for 2 people at one table and you forget half the order, so whatever. So several more minutes go by and I'm still not getting the steak. And I'm not expecting some kind of great preparation. I'm expecting a really bad piece of meat
They're gonna
thrown over
Denny's
some
is
fire.
gonna walk out with
Right.
with the tray of all the different steaks.
Right. And I don't need the live menu, and I don't need a guy in white gloves and tails. I don't need a big like a platter with a top and the guy to pull the top off.
Denny's-
Sir, your steak is served.
Denny's butler comes out and
Hello, your steak, sir.
and a sommelier with iced tea.
Right. Some fine wine to go with your steaks here at Denny's at 2 a.m. No, damn it! Where's my cheap meat? So that's all I want. Cheap meat as another one for a show title.
Jeez,
The Bell Beefer and Cheap Meat.
Need to get a pen.
So we're waiting still, and so several minutes pass by, and she walks by, and I'm like, Miss, can I get that steak anytime today? Oh, yeah, your steak. Finally, dude, 10 more minutes goes by. I don't get any steak. At this point, we're wanting to see how long it'll go. So we're not saying anything. Now we just want it. So now I'm like, all right, she must have forgotten again. So she comes by again, and I'm like, hey, can we just get our check? Forget the steak. So I go to the register, and I go to pay. And the manager is checking me out, and I'm like, she goes, how was everything? And I'm like, well, honestly, here's what happened. I go, and listen, I've worked in restaurants. I've been a server. I've forgotten meals before it's happened. It's 2 a.m. It's not that busy here right now. Like it shouldn't have slipped her mind, whatever. I go, but my order was never put in. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, I ordered a steak, and I had to ask for it a couple times, and I never got it. I go, so just make sure I don't pay for it. I go, we're completely fine. I think it's actually pretty funny right now. I'm like, we work in radio. It'll make for a great story. No harm, no foul.
Was she like, no, that's not a good radio story?
Yeah, and well, too bad. I've told it 100 times.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
So I'm like, it's not a big deal. That happens sometimes where you forget to put stuff in. Not a big deal. So I don't think Denny's. I ever since that I was scarred. Every time I drive past a Denny's, I get all antsy and
I would
nervous.
just Moons Over My Hammy was my go-to, but because of the name, but then it ended up being like an excellent breakfast item.
One night at Denny's, oh man, this is going back way, but long time ago. Late night at Denny's, I have a particularly hairy chest. I have a lot of body hair for an Italian man, and the top portion of my chest hair doesn't connect with the bottom portion of my chest hair. It doesn't like go in like one big carpet. So the top portion looks like...
That's good news.
It is good news, but the top portion is shaped like the logo on Superman's chest. So like the diamond-like shape is what my hair looks like.
Austin Powers.
And I made a comment about that, and we were sitting at this... there was probably 8 or 10 of us, and then I was dared at that moment to shave an S into my chest hair at the Denny's. There was a gas station across the street, ran there, 24-hour gas station.
Disposable razor.
Bought a disposable razor, went to the Denny's bathroom and shaved an S, which then, because the drinking had happened earlier in the night, the S was then backwards.
If you were doing this like
S was backwards
like a Tuesday at 1 p.m., shit's really weird.
Buddy just called me up out of the blue. Yeah, I got a dare for you. Yeah, what's up? Wait, shave an S in your chest.
Well, first of all, what the hell are you doing at Denny's during the day? Oh my god!
If you're not 16, eating dinner at 3:30.
Exactly. We get the SD, man. Get that senior discount.
Hi, welcome to Denny's. It's 4 p.m. What can I get for you? Oh, we're gonna do a full dinner, please, so I can be hungry again by 9.
I just keep laughing at McAfrica in my head.
I know.
And then
picture
the combination of that,
the logo,
and then like it's actually like the temperature of Africa in my studio right now.
It's like an attic in here right now. I'm waiting for like a killer clown to come out and stab me in your attic.
So
right.
hot.
It's so hot in here. And I like a picture like how sometimes like fast food restaurants will wear promotional T-shirts. Like there's a picture of like the continent of Africa on the shirt. It says McAfrica. So thankfully that was I got to see that article from the Wall Street Journal about the McFailures in fast food restaurants. So if there are things that you do eat, Taco Bell is one of the things I would generally eat after a night of being out drinking. Is there a particular place you go to eat or things that you like to eat? If I'm not going to a fast food restaurant, it's generally a gas station for a variety of snacks.
Yeah, gas station or 7-Eleven.
Like Doritos and like lots of beef jerky or Slim Jims, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would even do like a gas station hot dog.
Yeah, no, it kind of takes it takes like road trip fare to a new level because you buy 3 times as much,
right? And
things that you were always a little on the fence about, you're like, oh yeah, the thing that rotates at 7-Eleven, like whatever those things are,
right.
They look like churros, but they're full of bacon. Yeah, I'll get that. Sounds good. I'll take 4 of those.
And the kid behind the counter is like, hey, those have been there for like 7 hours. I don't care at this point. I just need something in my belly.
Sir?
Yeah. I need some food.
Give me a Swisher Sweet.
I need some food. So yeah, Taco Bell would be a go-to thing. Gas station fare was always a go-to thing. I got pulled over one night after we were at an alumni club in Schaumburg. So you see how long ago this was. And this is when I had my Camaro with T-tops in the Dago Tea Party. And I was eating stuff, and as I was eating it, trust me, I'm not proud of this moment, but as I was eating, I was tossing the garbage out the T-tops.
The reason you get pulled over is for whipping your gas station shrapnel out of the car.
I had the long wrapping from a Slim Jim right out the top of the T-top there. Then there's sunflower seeds. I'll take a handful of those and throw the bag out the top. So that's when I got pulled over and throwing garbage out. License had been expired for months at that point. Clearly had been out drinking somewhere. Failed to do the alphabet from Z to A. And the cop was just like, all right, just make sure you get home safe to Lyle. I'm like, okay, sounds like a good idea, officer.
Sounds good then. Would you care for a Dorito?
You care to pick up my garbage off the street, please, officer? So yeah, gas station fare, Taco Bell, White Castle, of course, is a great hit for drinking. I might even pick some up on the way home.
You've done that. Wouldn't be the first time you've done it after a taping.
I do like me some White Castles.
So the segment that the topic that we wanted to talk about is kind of weird things you eat when you're drunk, but it's not just fast food for me. Like,
What is it for you?
well, I mean, it's kind of what's in the refrigerator. We'll play that game, but I'm not
Casserole
like
surprise,
but I'm
like,
not
put stuff
heating. I'm
together?
not heating up like one thing. Yeah,
Right.
Like Trish, she will only eat like one food item at a time, and cover it with some kind of sauce or like 7 types of sauce, like whatever. But I will, like the lasagna that I gave you that she made. So I took the lasagna. And then I had like some ground chicken, like just all this stuff that was in there in like 4 different containers, and I put it into a giant bowl and heated it up. That was about a week ago.
So you just do like it's like a smorgasbord.
Well, yeah. It's like
Like a buffet,
it's like
you
I
just
went
put it
to
all
a
in one big
buffet and
plate,
put it
right.
all in one, and I'll mix it up.
Whatever's
you know.
left over goes in the bowl.
Yeah, but the weirdest thing that I've ever eaten, drunk and or high, this may have been both. I came home and there was nothing in the refrigerator other than like condiments, probably like a Brita pitcher and condiments. So your standard bachelor refrigerator.
Right.
So I went to the cabinet and I grabbed a box of croutons, and then I had like half a bag of shredded cheddar cheese in the dairy drawer.
Croutons and shredded cheddar cheese.
I
we're
put it on
working
there.
so far.
Yeah, I heated it up.
Okay.
And like it was, you could eat like a crouton at like for a second, but then it all turned into like a brick. So I just like stuck the fork in it and ate it like a crouton and cheese lollipop.
So it was like peanut brittle.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, I mean, no, actually the funny thing is though, it was in the shape of the bowl. Like it,
great.
so when it looked like an umbrella, umbrella of croutons and cheese.
How was it? That you remember?
I don't know. I'm sure it was good at the time.
I one night I did a can. I'm sorry, opened a can of black olives and covered them in ranch dressing because that was all I had.
Oh yeah, yes,
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about last week.
Thought like and I didn't drain the olives, so all the like olive juice was in
juice?
there too, and it was like the ranch dressing got all watered down by this black water.
And at the time, like, there's no judgment. You just want to eat. But
Right.
then, like in the morning, you just look at that bowl and
Oh,
go,
wait, no,
what?
wait.
What? I think the mad
Wait, I
pooper
forgot.
got into my house.
it was the can of olives, ranch dressing, topped with Parmesan cheese too, sprinkled Parmesan.
Oh, I've
cheese.
done that too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we eat all the.
I'm really hungry. I have nothing here except
All the
ranch
good
dressing
things.
and olives. And
At this
cheese.
point, I forgot what we were talking about from about 20 minutes ago because of the amount of sweat.
because of the heat here in the
Yes.
attic.
Yeah.
So one thing that's been happening to me lately that makes me want to drink excessively, the Chevy Cruze I bought back in July. So I bought a used Chevy Cruze. I wanted something that was 4-door, little roomier, and I always had the dudes in the back seat, and I wanted something that was 4-cylinder for the first time ever in my life, just for gas mileage, whatever. So within the first week, the wheel covers. So these aren't rims; these are it's a cheaper car, so it has wheel covers. And the passenger side wheel covers both fell off. I didn't notice it. I don't know when one fell off or they fell off simultaneously, however it happened. But I parked
It's a better story if they fall off
at the same
simultaneously.
time. So,
It's like Clark Griswold's.
I park and I'm walking wherever I was, and I noticed that I have no wheel covers in the passenger side. I'm like, what the crap? Like, that's
What
irritating.
the crap?
So I go to the store and I buy, universal, just generic wheel covers that you just snap right on over your tires. And I took the 2 that were still on the driver's side, and I threw those like in my storage unit in my apartment, and I put the 4 new ones on. I don't even know why I kept the 2, but then I realized why I kept the 2. Then eventually, one of the new set fell off, so I had 3 on, 1 off, and I'm like, well, geez, this is ridiculous. So then I went, and just to be completely ghetto, I took one of the old ones, so it was not matching the other 3, and put it on. Because I was like, I'd rather have one not matched than have an empty wheel cover.
Didn't you stop on the way to on the way down here once at like Pep Boys and buy? You said I got a 4-pack for it's like super cheap.
Wait, not on the way down here, but yeah,
okay.
it was somewhere.
It's like-
So that's what it was. I stopped and I bought the 4. I took the 2 off, put the 4 on. 1 fell off. Put one of the old ones on. So I had 3 that matched, 1 that didn't. Then a second one fell off of the old ones. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So then I put the second one that I still had from the previous set on. So now I had 2 that matched and 2 that didn't. And I wasn't smart enough to put the 2 that match on the same side. So I had 2 different ones on each side. So then the other day I'm driving.
Cares at this point.
The other day I'm driving along, and the front driver one fell off. I saw it fall off because I was going to kind of slow making a right turn. And as I turned, my back driver wheel drove over it and cracked it. So I was like, son of a bitch, what is going on? So then I go to a car dealer right down the street from me, Barry's Tires in Libertyville. And I go and I'm like, I have this problem. I go, these wheel covers, these crap, cheap-ass wheel covers keep falling off my tire. All right, so then the guy's like, well, that's not the original wheel covers. He goes, the original ones, they screw in so they won't fall off. So I'm like, well, clearly it's not the original ones. I bought these. When I got the car, they had aftermarket universal wheel covers. So some asshole took the original ones off that screw on and then replaced them with these, cheap, generic $34 for a set of 4 wheel covers that won't stay on.
So we're all surprised at the superior quality of the $34 set of 4.
So now I took all the other ones off. So I had 3 that were on. I took them off now. So now I have no wheel covers. I just have these black, rims that look really bad.
It's a nice looking ride too. That just looks hilarious. It's got to look, yeah.
I just don't care because I'd rather have none on than have 3 on or have 2 on. So I went to the Chevy dealer and I'm like, how do I get the original ones? And he's like, oh, let me look them up. He does it, blah, blah, blah. He goes, $95. And I'm like, it's more than I wanted to spend, but I'm like, $95 for the set of 4 isn't bad. He goes, no, $95 each. And I'm like, each? $380 for a set of, I'm like, come on. He's like, I can have them here for you tomorrow. And I'm like, would that require the $400 today? And he was like, it would in order to place the order. And I'm like, I'm going to think about it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. It seems ridiculous.
Just go to Home Depot, buy a bottle of Gorilla Glue, and try and stick your other shitty
I was going to get
there.
a can of silver spray paint and spray them so they just look silver. Man, those are nice rims. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
So that was really, really super irritating. Anyway, this is the AFDE show. This is episode 9. It's called Gags. It's been fantastically fun and entertaining so far. I know you're loving it, but we need to take a quick break because we are very, very sweaty. I'm going to mop Jason down, and then I'm going to dry him off as well.
Thermomax.
It's the AFDE show. Abaticola, Ferrari, discuss everything. You can follow us on Twitter at AFDE show. We are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's first brew pub. Follow them on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. They're on Facebook at facebook.com/Mickey Finn's Brewery. We are back with segment 2 after this. All right, welcome back into episode 9, Gags, Abaticola, Ferrari, discuss everything. Our podcast is brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's original brew pub. Fantastic beer, great food, and of course, wonderful service. Live entertainment on the weekends. Check them out on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. Give them a call, 847-362-6688. If you're ever in Libertyville, you're near Libertyville, stop on by Mickey Finn's and check them out, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. Let me know you're going. You can always hit me up on Twitter, and I certainly will come by and get you a Pineapple Express, a delicious Pineapple Express, just like I bring growlers every time we record episodes of Abaticola.
In some kind of a recording alternate universe where you and I are enjoying something.
Well, I'm afraid to bring them here. I wanted to bring it today, but I thought it would get too hot. The beer would get too warm, and it'd be here in the attic. As we're taking our shirts off for segment 2.
We've changed locations. I built a nice studio several weeks ago. Instead, I decided to figure out a way to get between here and the roof.
Right, it's like hell on earth.
Yeah,
right here, he's Dante, I'm Abaticola. This is an inferno. Anywho, we took our Dago tees off, part of the Dago Tea Party, hashtag Dago Tea Party, DAGOTEE Party. We're actually shirtless now and bumping chests during the segment as we sip warm wine. That's what we do here.
I put an ice cube in mine. It's so hot. I put an ice cube in my red wine.
It started to sizzle though.
Did you notice that the ice cubes are gone immediately? I put 4 in a little wine glass. Gone.
You dropped it. I heard the ice cube go, oh no.
Yeah, help. I'm now drinking wine soup.
All right, one of our regular segments here on the AFDE show is something called That's So Wisconsin.
Yes, coming into segment 2, moving forward, That's So Wisconsin, brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn at 3030 North Racine in Chicago in the lovely Lakeview neighborhood. We work with Kevin over there, the general manager, and he loves the show. Wanted to do a segment, so here we go. We're going to do something that we think is the best story that we can find about Wisconsin in the respective week, and I think we found a good one, and Matt's going to go right now.
This one comes to us from Wausau, Wisconsin. A central Wisconsin driver got off with just a warning after making a plea to a parking officer over the weekend. Wausau Police Department officer Jim Hellrude found a note on a parked car asking for pity because the driver walked home, leaving their car in a metered lot overnight. The note read, "Please take pity on me. I walked home, ... safe choices." The officer honored the request with a warning. The Wausau Police Department said on their Facebook page that they can appreciate people making safe choices and those having a good sense of humor. So obviously the guy was out drinking all night, left his car in a metered lot where you shouldn't leave it overnight, and left a note that said, "Hey, making a good choice here. Please take pity on me." And the cop certainly didn't have to, but it certainly seems like a reasonable situation for a cop to say, better me not writing this guy a parking ticket instead of pulling him over while driving drunk or after an accident and he killed someone. That certainly would not be the ideal situation. This, luckily the cop had a sense of humor about it, and they could do it as a police station, just kind of laugh it off.
Well, I think there has to be a level of respect for this guy, though. I mean, think about it. When we leave bars, like you and I don't know if we either like Houdini, you bounce from a bar, you go home, you leave your car, you make that call. But the fact that this dude was like, I'm not going to drive, I'm going to leave a note.
Right.
Like, yeah, the cop has to respect the effort.
like to have enough sensibility to say, hey, this is why I left my car.
Hey, man, yeah, and I don't think he was thinking he was going to get a ticket by any means. I think the guy just was like, hey, here's why my car's here. I like the wherewithal to realize that and put forth that effort.
Yeah, and to certainly have the common sense and the forethought to think through and leaving a note. We can always appreciate a really thoughtful thinker and just a person who has enough common sense to realize that they should do something proactive to help themselves out. And that gets us into this fantastic story. There's a professor at Maryland's Anne Arundel Community College. The professor's name is Reb Beatty, R-E-B, Reb Beatty. Reb. And when Reb arrived at his accounting class to administer a test last week, he hardly could have imagined that he'd been the one getting outsmarted. Now, this is a fantastic story from some young community college student.
Oh, it's one of the things where I wish I did it.
Right.
Like, well, I don't know. That most of my professors and teachers would not have fallen for this trap, because I'm one of those people who'd be like, oh, yeah, no.
Or
you failed it, yeah.
Like the professor wouldn't have responded the way Professor Beatty responded
he
here.
Had to. Well,
in a September 20th Facebook post that's since gone viral, Beatty explained that he's told his students that they were allowed to bring a 3x5 cheat sheet to use during the test. Beatty, however, failed to specify the unit of measurement he was referring to, and so a clever student noticed the loophole and milked it for all it was worth. A photo shared by Beatty shows students Elijah Bowen taking his test with a 3x5 note card on his desk. 3 by 5 feet, that is.
I love it.
Beatty told Today.com that he looked through his syllabus, realized he hadn't specified anywhere that the card had to be in inches, appreciating the fact that A, the student had the intelligence to realize this shortcoming, and B, the audacity to actually put this together and bring it in. There was no reason not to allow him to use it, the professor said. Beatty expressed his bemused admiration for Bowen in the Facebook caption, "Well played and lesson learned for me." According to the Capital Gazette, Bowen passed the test with flying colors, getting a high B or low A. The student said he didn't end up using the gigantic sheet very much. He said, "I had to refer to the card only a couple times. It was very big," Bowen told the newspaper, "and it was more comical than anything."
Yeah.
But kudos to Elijah Bowen, pretty smart there. And the second I read the story and I just saw 3x5, I'm like, oh, the dude made a 3 foot by 5 foot, cheat sheet and walked in. But I would have loved being another student, being like, son of a bitch.
Well, no.
Like, you're a guy trying
to... How are
they
not seeing it?
Right, but I mean, because you just assume, a 3x5
like, what,
card.
Did he have him take the test in a different room?
But can you imagine the idiot that had the super small handwriting just to fit as much as he could, then couldn't read it, and then he sees this jamoke walk in with a 3 foot by 5 foot poster board.
When I first saw the headline, my initial thought was the guy made like a poster and
right.
put it on the wall. Like, before I...
Like hung it on the wall and the teacher didn't see. That's I thought of that too. Like maybe that was where he went.
That's what I thought first. But
there was some kind of formulas on it or something or whatever it was he needed. Right. And the teacher didn't even notice it. But a really, really, really good story, which then leads us into a really dumb story. And, this has been... some of the issues with social media.
We've got dumb.
Social media has done some really dumb things for us. I think there are some benefits to it, to social media and certain aspects of it, but a lot of it is pretty stupid. And one of the more dumb areas of social media has been like internet challenges that come through. Now, the ice bucket challenge, I get that, and it raised a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you did it, if you participated and challenged other people, I was challenged by guys at the radio station. I did it, and it was terribly. It was awful. It was an awful thing to do, but you get to challenge guys. You raise a lot of money.
That's the only one I've ever seen that I was impressed with.
That was actually worthwhile. I thought.
Yeah, the people did it.
So here's a new internet craze that's sweeping the web, and it seems women are holding their breasts in the shape of a heart and posting pictures of it online. It apparently started this bizarre trend. It started in China, and it's named the Heart-Shaped Boob Challenge. It began earlier this week in China. So if you imagine taking your two pointer fingers and your thumbs and making them into the shape of a heart, but then doing that around, as a woman, around your breast, so the tips of your thumbs are covering your nipple, but you squeeze it so that your boob pops through the opening to look like the shape of a heart. That's what the internet craze is all about. Apparently, some really famous blogger in China, and I'm not even going to attempt to try to say her name, she did it first as like a joke, and then it caught on as a challenge, and apparently it's happening a lot in China, and it's starting to catch on in other countries as well. If you want to Google or go to Instagram, you could do like hashtag, heart boob challenge, and you can see different photos of women. It's nothing worthwhile. It's just if you like to see a boob smashed in between two people's and between a woman's hands.
Two people.
Yeah, if you get two people to do it, that's even better.
It's a giant heart challenge.
Within days, it exploded on the country's most popular social network. Weibo, Weibo, thousands of women wanting to take part of the challenge. It sees women grab their breast and use their hands to mold the flesh into the shape of a heart. Then they take pictures of themselves before posting it online for all of their friends to see. So far, snaps have been taken and shared more than 1.6 million times within days of the weird challenge being created.
I have to think that most of these things start that way.
Right.
Where you're just like, God, I wonder if I can get 1.8 million idiots to do this. Yeah, like planking or any of those stupid things.
You seen the stupid ones where like kids take a spoonful of cinnamon and try to like swallow a spoonful of cinnamon, and you can't do it, or
snort stuff.
Right. It's just stupid.
Remember, like back in the day before social media, what was it? The milk. Remember the idiots with the milk, chugging the gallon of milk and trying not to vomit?
Yeah.
Or the ones who would try and eat an entire sleeve of saltines?
Oh, yeah.
That never worked out
That's
real
kind of
well.
funny,
Yeah,
though.
that was funny.
Yeah.
People would be like, oh, it's like you going to the gas station to buy disposable razors. People would be like, oh, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Go buy saltines from the gas station.
Maybe I can start an internet craze here for the AFDE show. Shave something in your chest hair. We can put that online then.
No, yeah. Dago tea. Elastic waisted pants, shave something in your chest. So basically, we want you to lift up the Dago tee and show the creative shaving.
So now, in reading this story, Jay, it sent me down the old rabbit hole of the internet.
Yeah.
And here are a couple other challenges. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of these challenges before. I had not. Have you heard of the iPhone 6 leg challenge?
Leg,
L-E-G.
No.
So this is where women were measuring the width of their legs with their iPhone 6.
Okay, so ones who actually eat food are, what?
That was a challenge. Have you ever heard of the one finger challenge?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe it's something else.
The one finger challenge, Jay, is where you would take a picture of yourself completely naked, but you would hold up a finger like over like the reflection of yourself in the mirror, so that it would, like for a woman, it would cover her nipples. And so in the photo of her completely naked body, all you would see is a finger covering her nipples, so you wouldn't see her nipples. Some would do it with their nether region down below, but it was called the one finger challenge, something I had never heard of before. Unfortunately, that rabbit hole brought me into pictures of dudes trying to cover up their things with one finger. That's when it got weird, and I was like, I hope no one sees. Hope the FBI's not looking at my phone. Me looking at dudes
Matt's
covering up their
Google history.
Like Google history has been erased. I actually bleached it. So that's gone. So if you're interested in seeing the heart boob challenge, go ahead and Google it. Instagram, go on Twitter maybe. I don't even know where else it is on social media. But it's something that started in China, and hopefully it's something that goes away very, very soon. And, of course, one of our favorite things on the AFDE show when talking about stupid things, and we do this weekly, every episode will feature at least one story about a dumb criminal. And this one is absolutely fantastic. This comes to us from the great state of Ohio. It seems like we're having a lot of dumb criminals in Ohio recently. It's not done on purpose, Ohio, even though your numbers are down, jackasses. You need to start downloading more. Maybe we'll have less dumb criminal stories from Ohio.
Doubtful.
But this is from Canal Fulton. Name of the city, Canal Fulton. Sounds like two streets in the city.
Sounds delightful. Or like two streets.
Police say they have a nomination for the world's dumbest criminals. Authorities discovered 3 people breaking into vehicles last week in the Dan Avenue area, but one of them fled on foot and got away. The suspect used a phone at a local gas station to call his friend, who was still at the scene and being arrested. An officer answered the phone and said, "Hello." The suspect, thinking that his buddy was a free bird and was answering his phone, informed the officer that he successfully escaped and ran to the Circle K, and he needed someone to come pick him up.
The Circle K.
So police posted this information on their Facebook page as they told the story. The officer obliged and drove to the Circle K and arrested the suspect. Police work is hard enough, the police say in their Facebook post. We can't thank criminals enough times for providing assistance from time to time in making our job easier. We would hope you would be smarter than that. Yet if you were, you wouldn't be breaking into vehicles. So the dude gets away from the police, calls his buddy, who he doesn't know what his situation was, calls his cell phone to say, "Hey, I'm here at the Circle K. Come pick me up." Great ad for the Circle K, by the way. The cop answers the guy's cell phone, who's being arrested, and says, "Oh yeah, I'll come pick you up." But not only is this guy so dumb to do that, not knowing the situation he left behind, but he doesn't even recognize his own buddy's voice.
Yeah. I actually, I think we pretend to be surprised sometimes as we're reading these things. Not so much. I mean, there is no shortage of dumb people. Clearly, I guess if you've decided on the life of crime and you're not some kind of mastermind in a movie,
right?
That's like a difficult target. These people are asking for it.
I just think it's great, though.
Completely asking for it.
What a great story. This idiot calls his buddy. The cop answers, and he tells the cop where he's at. Someone needs to come pick me up. All right, we're on our way. We'll come get you. Don't worry. And so he gets arrested. So that is this week's episode of Dumb Criminals, which always leads us into, here in segment 2 of the AFDE show, our weekly edition of Dumb Apps with Jason Ferrari. So, Jason, what are this week's dumb apps?
Okay, so it does get a little bit difficult. There are obviously plenty of dumb apps out there, but ones that are of a comical, where Matt and I are just
like last week it was about
laughing.
hobos.
Yeah. Oh my God, I told you. I don't know if you listened back yet. The hobo segment. I was crying from laughing when you found the other hobo apps. Oh my God! If you have not listened to episode 8, please do.
Glossy knobs.
Just the hobo segment. Very good. Okay, so this week's edition of Dumb Apps brings us to our first app, which I don't think I even need to do a description. It's called Abacus. I was just kind of going through things, and it's an abacus. It's a photo. You can't do it. Like you can't
do anything with it.
Do anything with the abacus.
Wow.
It's a photo of an abacus. So I don't know. For those of you mathy folk who really miss the abacus, there's the app for you. Number 2 is called the Phone Saber, which I actually kind of find this kind of amusing. Only if I could see like several nerds doing this together. Where they pull up a simulated version of a lightsaber and can fight each other with the lightsabers on their phone. Yes, yeah. So there's that.
Awesome. That's great.
Number 3,
Nerds Unite.
Yes. So I read this and I already thought, I'm like, oh my God, is someone like, are you singing along with it?
Oh,
are you doing it? No, but I wrote robot voice in the description, but this is even better. So it's called 99 Bottles, and it plays the entire 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall song.
99 bottles of beer
now,
on the
I
wall,
wrote in a
99
robot
bottles of beer.
voice, but what it says in a Stephen Hawking-esque robot voice. So it's like, like, dude, but that's not, can you imagine how long that takes? Yes.
Days.
So that is, yes, exactly. So you might need to, like, plan out some free time, maybe take a couple of vacation days to listen to the Stephen Hawking-esque 99 Bottles app. This
Something
one
very offensive about that as well.
Yeah, no, well, the Stephen Hawking part, right?
Jeez.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just some
Dumb.
idiot in a digital voice singing the. I don't think I've ever gone through that myself personally. Have you?
No.
99.
Why would you?
No. I think at about 33, I'd be like,
I've gotten
this
down
is stupid.
to 83 before.
Okay. What is it? 83. All right. So this one, I didn't think it was as dumb as I find it to be a little bit amusing.
Wow.
Not because of the end result, but it's called Pour One Out, Pour1OUT, one word. It simulates pouring one out for a dead homie.
That's great.
So instead of you actually, and it says, like, as I was reading the whole thing, it was like, it didn't say, it said, in quotes, a 40-ounce beverage that you were pouring out in honor of
Not at all racist either.
of the dead homie.
App. Yep.
Okay, so the dumbest one that I came across this week, greatest name also, by the way, other than Car Matey, is called Sausage Legend. Which,
Another title for a show.
which I feel like applies to just this room. Like,
Right.
Matt and I are sausage legends. So this is an app where sausages fight in place of people. So as I was looking at it, it's basically an app that you download that's a video game where instead of like people are doing karate, it's various sausages fighting each other, to which the end quote of the article said, "The sausages will react realistically."
Wow.
So Sausage Legend takes the prize for the dumbest app of the week.
Well, I see how that works because people at Milwaukee Brewers games love the sausage race.
See, I think that's funny, but they're not fighting. They're just running.
Right. So then, but this is someone trying to capitalize on the fact that people find so much joy in the Brewers
But that's
sausage
an
races.
experiential thing, right? Like, I don't want to download an app on my phone where I can have sausages fight
See,
each
now,
other.
I guess, are the sausages of different ethnicities that then fight accordingly?
Well,
Like, is there an Italian sausage that has like a Tommy gun?
so
You know,
there are-
he's like
there
he's in a
there
Dago
was-
tee.
In the article, there was Italian, there was Polish, but I mean, like, there was hot dog. I think it's just variation of tubed meat.
And is there a
Tubed
Polish
meats.
sausage that throws himself on the grill? And that's how the fight ends. And he slices himself open.
And then somehow the McAfrica fights with
Right.
everybody. Like,
Some kind of like Irish blood sausage shows up to the gunfight with a knife. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know? And the Italian sausage throws ethnic slurs at him.
of the Irish blood. Wow. Yeah. So this is a charged episode. So that's segment brought to you by apparently racial insensitivity among the sausage community.
Whole episode. Thanks, fast food flops. You started the whole thing and got us into a rabbit hole we can't get out of. All right, so that's segment 2 of the AFDE show. This is episode 9. It's called Gags. He's Ferrari. I'm a Baticola. We're a Baticola, and Ferrari discuss everything. We hope you have listened to episodes 1 through 8. Had you not done that yet, please do so. Some fantastic stuff out there to listen to consume, and we hope you're enjoying episode 9, Gags. Of course, we are presented to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub. We're back after a short timeout.
Viva Gorditas!
All right, welcome back in episode 9, Gags, a Baticola Ferrari discuss everything. This is segment 3. We're presented to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's first brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Great food, great beer, great service, and of course live entertainment every weekend. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Mickey Finn's Brewery, and you can see what's coming up this weekend. Hope you're enjoying the show. He's Ferrari. I'm a Baticola. And this is a really great story to start off segment 3 here. And it kind of goes back into some of the things we've discussed recently in episodes. Like if you're ever in a hotel and you're so lonely, you want to rent a fish to keep you company. Maybe you want to have some alcoholic beverages delivered right to your hotel room. And maybe you want a different kind of companionship. Maybe the fish just isn't enough for you. Well, Jay, this is great. And this is from a sex boutique in England. This is an unbelievable story. The robots are already so advanced that they are no longer solely used for sexual activity. So Samantha, who is now on sale at 2 sex shops in the UK, has 2 different settings. One is a family mode where the robot tells facts and even jokes, while the other one is a little less family friendly. It's on sale for €3,500 at Vibez Adult Boutique in Islesford. Vibez owner Tracy Whitmore said Samantha has different personalities, like all women do, And she has a family mode where she will be able to give facts about various things and talk about philosophy. She can tell jokes, and she can't accidentally go into sex mode. So imagine you have,
I love that disclaimer.
Just imagine you come home one day from work and you're like, honey, kids, gather around. Guess what Dad bought at a sex boutique? I bought Samantha, the sex robot. But she's in family mode, so honey, it's safe right now. She's not going to do anything inappropriate around the kids.
She's like the plastic version of Siri and Alexa.
Yeah, so she can tell jokes. She won't accidentally go into sex mode. The shop only has one Samantha on sale, but taking orders and can deliver in 6 weeks.
That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Right,
the shop only has one Samantha on sale. Back order. It's like a Prius.
The people who buy these dolls, listen to this, are usually lonely people are looking for companionship and something for a sexual purpose.
Or families, apparently.
This is great, too. She appeals to couples that might want to experiment but don't want the jealousy. So, honey,
families.
I've really taken into consideration that you want to have a threesome with me and one of my friends. But, it just really bothers me. So I have a solution. I bought a Samantha robot doll. You can do her all you want. I won't get jealous at you.
And also, if we want to go out for some pasta, Samantha can babysit the kids.
Babysit the kids, because we'll put her in family mode and she'll be fine.
And she won't go into, dirty sex mode and traumatize the little tykes. God.
Yeah, Samantha talks like a truck driver. She's smoking a pack of Reds. You little bastard.
Mom, Dad, Samantha went crazy. She's talking about dongs.
Do your homework before you take your dong out.
God. Yep.
Well, I would imagine the people that are buying Samantha, the sex robot, for 3,500 euros are also the people that during International Talk Like a Pirate Day, we're downloading pirate porn.
Car matey.
Yeah, car matey. Yarr, where's your car? So how did you celebrate International Talk Like a Pirate Day? Did yours involve pirate porn? If so, you are not alone, matey. Pornhub, this is great. Pornhub reports that thanks to the unofficial holiday, which happens every year on September 19th, searches for the pirate-related videos skyrocketed. According to the porn platform, searches for pirate content rose by an impressive 376% on that day. Shiver me timbers. The site's stats show millennial men between ages 18 and 35 are most likely to hunt for pirate porn. And they were a mere 41% more likely to sink their hooks into it than women would. So what exactly were these pirate fanatics after? And they had a little chart here that you could take a look at.
When there's a pirate porno search graphic.
So these are the most popular pirate-related searches on September 19th. The most common one was pirates, which makes sense. Pirates of the Caribbean, Pirates movie, Pirates 2, Jesse Jane Pirates.
Pirates 2.
Right.
Okay.
Pirates. So now the most popular search was pirates. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down the line was pirate. Then there was
sometimes when you make it singular versus plural, it's a special search.
Pirates XXX. Then there was Space Pirate Sarah. Then there was Lesbian Pirates. Then there was Pirates Parody. Pirates 2 Sasha Grey.
Oh boy.
Lana Rain Pink Pirate. Space Pirate. Here's a search for You Are a Pirate. Evan Stone Pirates. Then we have Triple X Pirate Movie. Pirate Fetish Machine. Pirate Girl. Space Pirate Rental.
Pirate Fetish Machine.
And Pirate Sex Slave.
I think there needs to be a search, and if it's not there, we need to start it. The Samantha Babysitter Pirate search.
Right, sex robot. This isn't the first time a holiday or special event has led people to search for related adult entertainment, but in this case found that people find whatever pirate booty they were searching for. The other holiday, believe it or not, on St. Patrick's Day, and of course I found this in a related story.
Please be leprechaun porn.
The leprechaun porn shoots up 400% on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay. Anyway, what was the number? It was 370 or something, right?
367% it goes up, yeah. So leprechaun porn shoots up 400% on St. Patrick's Day.
And the pirate porn. Well, it's a little weird, right? Like, No, okay.
You have like a
It's
pirate
all
fetish?
weird.
You know, it's all weird.
It's all weird.
Right.
Like hey, it's National Pirate Day. Ha ha ha. Now I need to go search for pirate pornography.
No, it's not even
Like,
pirate day.
making
It's talk like a pirate day.
Right,
it's
no,
like that's the whole thing. It's
but
like
I mean,
very
just-
specific, but
just-
that leads you into a road of
just
looking
to make
for like
that
a pirate sex
pornographic
slave
parallel is
Right.
odd. You know,
Right.
just
Very
like
odd.
St. Patrick's. Well, I don't know what word I just said.
St.
Patrick's Day. You know, I don't know. I want to go to the bars. I want to have some green beer. I want to have a good time.
You don't
I
wanna
don't
have
think
sex
I need
with a
to
pirate?
search for leprechaun porn.
All right, and probably guys that are looking for leprechaun porn or pirate porn on those holidays are probably the same guys
I was
who
so
have
happy when I sent you this.
are probably the same guys who have dad bods. Now that's become a thing now where, and I don't buy it either because ladies, you're not liking a guy who's got a dad bod. I don't care what the trend is or what social media says about, oh, he's got a dad bod, it's great. That's not the case. Given the option, you're going to pick a guy that's got ripped muscles and you know a six-pack abs. And you're not going to pick a guy with a
at the very
dad bod.
least, dad bod with a good rod, something like that.
Oh boy. So here's a thing. This is called the Dad Bod Fanny Pack, and this is from Mashable. It's called the Dad Bag. It's a fanny.
That's just funny by itself.
It's a fanny pack that gives you the illusion of having a dad bod. So it's a fanny pack. So first of all, you have to wear a fanny pack, and it gives you the illusion of having a dad bod.
And it's a hairy stomach. It was what you were talking about, not having the connector.
The dad bod will give you the dad bod that you never wanted. Now, the guy who's the creator of this, London-based art director, his last name is Pukies. So it's Albert Pukies. That's how I'm going to say
You
it.
said PU and it made me laugh. I'm a child.
Albert Pukies, the London-based art director, created this fanny pack because he wanted a dad bod without the health risks.
That's pretty funny.
It's currently not for sale, but in the process of seeking funding. It's a clever idea, but still a bit disturbing.
Mr. Pukies just crushes spinach salads and fires up his hairy skin-colored fanny pack.
Albert Pukies. Albert Pukies is the creator of the Dad Bag, which is a fanny pack to make you look like a big fat guy.
All of it. Brutal.
And I guess if you were the kind of guy that would buy this Dad Bag and give yourself a Dad Bod fanny pack, you probably are going to meet a ton of ladies because ladies love these dad bods. And of course, if you're going to have ladies coming in and out of your house or your apartment or your condo or the cardboard box or van you live in, you're going to need some wine. And what better way than to have wine delivered right to you? So here's a great new way to consume wine and adult beverages. There's a company called Wink.
And yeah.
Wink is an LA-based startup, and they want you to drink wine. So here's the story behind it. For those who partake in the responsible consumption of adult beverages from time to time, a daily glass of good wine.
So yeah, everyone who listens to this show.
Right. It's not just recommended, it's delicious, and you should do it. The high cost of quality wine usually keeps that occasional pleasure from being a regular practice, right? Well, why not sample varieties from around the world, create pairings to match your meals, learn more about vineyards, and generally live the wine life every day? And that's what the LA-based startup Wink says. They want you to drink up. Wink is a wine delivery service that brings top-shelf bottles to your front door for half the price of store-bought wine. And you won't just be getting random picks. Wink assesses your preferences and comes up with the perfect mix to match up with your palate. Already know what you want? No problem. You can pre-use Wink's massive collection of wines and discover vintners to fit your taste. Every Wink delivery comes with flavor notes, vineyard backstories, and food pairing ideas that help you become a more informed wine drinker. Normally, the deal would get you a $52 credit, effectively covering the cost of four $13 bottles of wine and shipping. But for limited time, the price has been slashed in half. So go check this out. If it's something that sounds like you want to do, if you're a wine drinker, you can get into Wink and get some higher quality wine for really, really low prices and delivered right to your door. So it saves you the hassle of going out but getting better wines. But here's the thing, though.
Like
wine,
Amazon boozy friend.
Well, yeah, exactly like that. But wine, dude, there's delicious wine for under $10.
We've talked about this countless times in person and on the show. But the headline I don't know what just happened. No, the headline of it though is what is it? How to drink more quality wine without draining your bank account.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was a funny show topic. This was actually something that I just was like, oh yeah, this is a good article for me.
Right.
And then I was like, it also could be a funny show topic.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the thing is though, I have a number of wines that I get at Mariano's on a regular basis that are under $10, and I think they're delicious.
Yeah, we were talking about like Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, even that Rex Goliath for $5, I'll drink that.
Oh man, I almost bought there's a giant bottle.
Yeah, they have the giant.
Yeah, I almost got that, but it was called like Red Stuff. I don't know. It was a very weird name.
It was like no, they have it's like a red blend.
Yeah,
they have, so it's not like a Pinot Noir or a Cab, so it's a red blend, and that's fine too. And that's super cheap. I think it's like $10 or $11-12 for that giant bottle. Again, wine is just on your preference, man. If you like the taste, drink it. If you don't, then don't drink it.
We've done an episode where we consume Flip Flop, which was fine.
Right, it was fine. And as far as that's a label, not a shoe, but it's a label of alcohol.
Yeah,
and
we
they make wine.
Flip Flops.
Right, I was introduced to it with their spiced rum that came in a plastic jug, and that was cool. The wine was just fine, and it's the thing. It's like you don't have to spend a ton of money on wine if you can, and you can get a $75 bottle of wine, and it's not a bad idea for your budget. Great. I mean, I love a good Jordan Cabernet, but I'm not going to go out and spend $75 on a bottle because it just doesn't make sense. Now, a special occasion or a super nice dinner, it might be a thing, a holiday.
Right.
But on a Tuesday night, I'm not cracking open a $75
But I feel like it's spending money for
wine.
the sake of spending money because like I've never drank $100+ bottle of wine and been like, wow, this is so much better than the Dark Horse that I just drank. Like same with champagne. You know, it's just one of those things where okay.
Now, on the flip side of that, though, I've had some really bad cheap experiences with like champagne or wine where I've had it. I'm like, this is not good at all.
But I mean, if you're buying Franzia, it's at your own risk.
Right, and that's the whole beauty of it.
Or
it's like
something along those lines.
On a Tuesday, like I don't have enough money, in my account to justify opening an $80 bottle of wine to have a glass or two watching TV on a Tuesday night. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
But can I crack open a $5 bottle of wine and be like, this is just tasty.
Please send me texts with whatever show that Matt and I are, we're binge watching and be like, bro, $90 bottle of wine tonight watching season 6 of Justified. No, no, don't do that.
Hey, one of my buddies a few years ago, he had a little dinner party, and he had a bunch of Jordan Cabernet wine bottles open. They were breathing, for the dinner, and I'm like, dude, that's what you're serving for dinner. I'm like, it's just us hanging out. He's like, oh yeah, he was a big wine guy. He had a wine cellar in his basement and had like, 500 or 1,000 bottles of wine or whatever. And I'm like, he's like, do you like Jordan? I'm like, dude, I love Jordan. It's one of my favorite wines, but I don't buy it because I'm not going to spend that kind of money for it. So we went through.
It's not in our disposable income.
Went
log.
through dinner, and I'm leaving later that night, and he's like, hey, I got something for you, and he hands me the last unopened bottle of Jordan Cabernet. He's like, here, you like it so much, take it home. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to take not only your last bottle, but that expensive bottle of wine home. And he's like, dude, I've got 500 more downstairs in the basement of other wines. Just take this home. You like it? You're a friend. Take it home. And I'm like, cool.
Fine,
so
I will.
I sat on it for as long as I could. I'm like, I want to find it. One night I couldn't resist anymore. It was calling out to me, open me and drink me. So I had to do that. But
you primed up the night with a bottle of Dark Horse.
Right.
Like, Daddy's got to step it up a notch.
Right. I polished off a bottle of Dark Horse Cabernet and then some Wolfschmidt vodka shots, and I'm like, all right, let's get into some Jordan Cabernet.
And actually, I poured a bunch of Gordon's gin onto a rag and just squeezed it into my mouth. What nasty shit can I consume before this $500 bottle of wine?
I ran a dish rag through the curb, the gutter, and I'm like, all right.
No, actually, I had it piss on it, and then I just wringed it out in my face.
Dude, that's playing at the Cheap Show by me in an hour. I'll never get home in time to watch it. I still want to go see that movie and just terrify myself.
I got a text earlier in the week from Dan Frank.
From a clown.
Actually,
I'm going to kill you.
I was like, how'd you get this number? So Dan Frank, actually, one of our listeners, sent this text to me, and he said he went to see it at the theater, and there were not one but two sets of parents who brought like 3-year-olds.
Jesus.
And I know that there's a certain age where you're just kind of it's basically just noise. But at 3, I absolutely guarantee that shit is going to terrify them at some point in their lives,
right?
If not immediately.
At 3 years old, now I immediately think of Jack and Hank, who's 4. I would never, ever, ever in a million years show them anything, even a trailer of Pennywise, the psycho clown who lives in a sewer.
We're in our 40s and it terrifies us. What the
Right.
shit's it going to do to it? Actually, kids are resilient, but still dumb. Dumb.
We had
never do that.
We had a doubleheader soccer game yesterday for Hank's soccer team, which I'm the head coach for.
This is a perfect way to wrap it up.
We had a 9:20 game and a 12:40 game, and you know how hot it was yesterday, and it's just brutal. And this kid's at the 9 o'clock game was too hot. It was really hot.
Well, then
out.
I'm actually surprised that these games last that long.
Well, then it went really long too, and it seemed like we didn't start till after 9:30, and it was like 10:20, and we're still playing. And I said to the ref, I'm like, and the refs are like 12-year-old kids who don't blow the whistle, don't really run the game well.
Wait,
and
do you mean like maturity level, or they're actually
12 years old?
Okay.
Yeah, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I said to the ref, I'm like, how much time is left in this game? He's like, we got 4 minutes, coach. And I'm like, 4 minutes? And the other coach was like, 4 minutes? And I'm like, dude, you want to wrap it? He's like, yeah, let's kill this game. And I'm like, blow the whistle, we're done. The ref's like, what? I'm like, game's over. I'm like, come on, kids, time for some water. Yeah. And Gatorade. I mean, it was so hot.
Orange slices, and we'll all say a prayer.
So I was sitting, and then I went home between games, and I was, we're getting ready and waiting for the next game to start. Hank and I were going to head over to the field, and I got an email from the coach of our second opponent at the 12:40 game, and he was like, "Dude, I've got he's like, I've got 4 kids only, and we need at least minimum 6." And he's like, "Do you mind if we cancel the game?" And I'm like, "Do I mind? It's like 100 degrees out." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally fine with me. I'm good with doing that, with canceling it." But the game was at 12:40. I made sure to email and text all my parents, make sure no one still showed up for it. But just being a thorough coach that I am, I still went to the field at 12:30 just to make sure that no one was going to show up and make sure the refs had been communicated to, that there was no game, and the game official on site knew, blah blah blah. And there was a game ending right before we were supposed to start, and each parents rotate taking turns bringing snacks. So you bring a snack and a beverage for after the game. The kids get to have a nice treat.
A Dago tea and a beverage.
I brought a Dago tea and beverages the first week. Like, here, kids, put on this Dago tea and here's some whiskey and some nice vino. Hey, the mom at the game right before ours was supposed to start, her snack was bananas.
Caviar.
It was bananas, and I'm like, what a shitty snack that is, lady. I'm like, I get the potassium, and you're gonna help your kids replenish all the nutrients they just sweat it out.
But it's the last minute.
Like,
she just ran in and grabbed the bananas by the register.
Banana when you're like you're all hot and sweaty and like you want something refreshing, like, here, eat this mushy banana.
I want to see all the kids just like unwrap it, like, God, what a cheap bitch.
But not only that's like, you got 4-year-olds. Like, 4-year-olds, they don't have no filter. Like, a 4-year-old's gonna be like, I don't want a banana. Bananas
exactly.
suck.
I don't want a banana.
Like, I'm like, I want to stick around and see this lady get like shot down by 4-year-olds. You idiot! Who brings bananas? I'm like, well, anyway. So luckily the game was canceled. We didn't have to do it. But Hank scored 2 goals yesterday in our early game.
Nice.
He was a monster. He scored 2 goals. He's doing great. And thankfully it ended though. The doubleheader is on a 100-degree day in October. It was, or where are we at? September. Yeah.
Yeah, still September, almost October. No, whenever I envisioned you talking about coaching practice or games, I just picture like a bunch of 4-year-olds chasing butterflies around in a field, and you just be like, no, guys, there's a sport here.
It's a little difficult. There's times that it really tries your patience trying to have 11 4-year-olds do like organized activities.
Anything,
so
yes.
It's fun though, man. I got a great group of kids and some really cool parents. So
is that kid still talking about your chest hair and touching your face?
No, but he tries to give me hugs though all the time, my little guy, and so he'll like hug. He'll walk up and hug. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, no, dude, like, let's keep your hands to yourself. You can't go around hugging people and doing that.
When he gets to be our age, I don't give people the option.
You just hug him?
Give him a hug, yeah.
Right. He's going to be the guy on the L walking up to strangers.
Hug, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. These are people that at the very least I've had one word of conversation with, not strangers on our Chicago's public transit.
All right, well, that'll wrap up episode 9. It's called Gags. He's Ferrari. I'm a Baticola. This is a Baticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be on the lookout for episode 10 next week. I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Mickey Finn's. They are Lake County's oldest brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. Also, a big thanks to Will's Northwoods Inn for their segment sponsor of That's So Wisconsin. If you want to participate and be a part of our show, first of all, you can just reach out to us at afdeshow@gmail.com, and you do not have to be a bar or a restaurant. If you want a business and you want to get thousands of people hearing your business talked about during our downloads, because we have thousands upon thousands of downloads of these episodes, and again, this is episode 9, I'm not sure exactly where we're at total-wise. We'll fill you in next week. But if you want people to hear about your business, this is a great opportunity. You can email us at afdeshow@gmail.com.
That's you, cobblers. We want cobblers to we would love for you and your shoemaking to be our sponsor.
I would love the Keebler Elves to sponsor a segment about the drink of the week. There are various ideas that we have for...
something in a small glass, I'm guessing.
For segments smaller than a
like
shot.
A thimble with a handle.
I'll take a thimble of vodka. Wolfschmidt. You can certainly reach out to us, and we'll give you all the necessary information to become a part of the show. Thanks for listening, and as always, thanks for downloading and supporting the AFDE show. He's Ferrari. I'm Avaticola. You guys have a great rest of the week, great end of the week, great middle of the week, wherever it is that you're listening to this show. We'll see you next week with episode 10.